And the last field event to start will be the men's javelin.
And here come the athletes then. Kirani James of Trinidad and Tobago will head them out. The 2012 Olympic champion, the 26th bronze medalist in Rio. 12 athletes in total make up this men's javelin final. And we could see some big throws. Well, not all the Germans that we expected to get through did, but Johannes Vetter, world ranked number 2 all-time for Germany, the defending champion, throwing at position 2. Next for Hungary, Norbert Rivas-Tut, 5 times the national champion of Hungary. He's got a bit to find on paper. Best of 83.42. The man who's thrown the furthest in the lead year is Magnus Kirt of Estonia, 90 meters and 61 centimeters. A new personal best. What a nation Finland are when it comes to javelin throwers. Lassi Etelätalo snuck through in 12th and final place in qualifying with 82.26. The Grenadan Anderson Peters, the Pan American Games champion, 87.33 his lifetime best. The Commonwealth bronze medalist last year on the Gold Coast. The man who took the title in 2015 in Beijing, Julius Yego of Kenya. We've just seen 1500 meter success. Can Julius Yego deliver another medal for the euphoric Kenyan fans here inside the Khalifa Stadium? Julian Weber, European Team Championships winner, 2019. He's the 4th ranked German really on paper, but Andreas Hoffmann and Thomas Röhler didn't get through qualifying. Marcin Krukowski of Poland finished 9th in the final in London 2017.
6 times the Swedish champion,
Kim Am of Sweden, 86.03. Just a little bit short of that in qualifying. He was pushing the 85 meter line. Next man we see was on the Diamond League podium 4 times this year, including winning in Birmingham. Cheng Chao Tsun of Chinese Taipei, the Asian record holder and Asian champion. And finally, the world's silver medalist, last time round in a lifetime best of 89.73, Jakub Vladlec of the Czech Republic. Those are your 12 giants lining up for the men's javelin final. Well, Johannes Vetter, the defending champion, his personal best 94.44, only headed by the great Jan Železný on the all-time list. As we said, the world number 3 all-time, Thomas Röhler, didn't get through qualifying. The Olympic champion, the man who won back-to-back German titles under all sorts of pressure from his countrymen, Andreas Hoffmann, didn't make it through the final. So the door has opened potentially for some of those who on the rankings would be a little bit further down. The man who'll open the competition will be Kirani James, who became the youngest ever Olympic throwing gold medalist when he won the title at the age of 19 back in 2012 in London. And the Trinidad and Tobago athlete will have the honour of opening this men's javelin competition as Johannes Vetter, who's due to throw in 2nd position with that red bib as the defending champion, waits in the wings. Here goes Walcott though, what can he produce? Well, sector lines, as you can see, that's around about 75. The boulder line on the ground is at 80 metres and the boldest furthest line is 90 metres. We'd love to see something heading out there, but we didn't see record-breaking distances in the women's javelin. Jenny, talk of the conditions down there not being that massively conducive to long throws.
Yeah, it's very stable conditions inside this arena. Of course, the javelin throwers, they like a bit of wind. Just watching that throw there, quite a lot of rotation on that javelin. So 75.30 for Walcott. Well, that's a steady start for him, but this is who we're all really looking forward to seeing. This is Vetter, the defending champion. He went all the way to 89.35 in qualification, and it really put himself behind that one, didn't he? Well, again, just came down just over 75 metres and he gets the red flag.
Well, we do see a variety of techniques. One is the full launch like that, where the athletes are just making sure they pull up before the line, but as soon as Vetter saw that one had height and then absolutely fell out of the sky, He decided he didn't want that one marked, measured, so he starts with a foul.
Magnus Kirt, he's a 2018 European bronze medalist. How can he start his campaign? Well, again, one of those athletes who really launches himself, and that's good. That's heading towards the 85-meter mark. That's a great start for Kirt. He throws with his left arm. Not many athletes throw with a left arm in the javelin. And just look at those images of him. He really puts his whole body behind that one, doesn't he? And that's a great start for Kirt. Well, 83.95. That puts him top. Peters it is, who follows this up now. The Grenadian athlete. What can he do? Oh, anything you could do, I could do better. That's well in excess of 85 metres. Just seeing this again. The speed of that elbow and release. 101 kilometres per hour, and he was rewarded with that, wasn't he? Yes. He liked it. I wonder whether that would feature in the podium. He's getting up towards what we'd expect it to. Weber, the German now. This is his first attempt. Such a proud history, of course, Germany in the throws events. And that one goes over 80 metres. Just catching up with the distance there of Peters that we didn't see. It was 86.69. That puts him in pole position so far. Yeah, just a few minor adjustments for Weber there. So 81.20 it is.
We focus on the defending champion Vetter in the javelin.
Well, here Vetter goes, puts his whole body against that throw again. Oh, and it just about manages to stay in the sector. Went really across to the right-hand side there. Well, he put his body so much on the line that his bib number actually came off. But really interesting how he got his shoulder behind that one. And we're just waiting for the score to come up. Of course, he had a foul in the first. And that's approaching 85 metres. Well, it's 85.37. That puts Vetter in silver medal position so far.
As we go back to the season's outstanding performer, this is Kirt. World leader this year, won the Diamond Trophy with a late charge in Zurich. And that looks big, well over the 85-metre line.
Well, he'll need well in excess of 85 metres if he wants to get on the podium. We're really looking forward to seeing that javelin launch out for around about 90 metres. Magnus Kirt is actually top of those seasons list this year. Kirt is even 90 metres 61. And the focus you can just see on Kirt's face there. He just really puts everything behind that throw. Well, 86.21, it's an improvement for Kirt. He goes into second position. This is Peters, the Grenadian. Oh, he's so powerful, isn't he? You can see some heavy strapping there on his knees, and that one comes just down short of 80 metres. Well, of course, he went out to 86.69 on his first. That one's not as far. Still in first position with that 86.69. And this javelin competition has not started how we thought it would so far. Well, it's very like Dan O'Brien said yesterday, it just takes one person just to launch one, and it just sets everybody else up. So this is Julius Jago. He was a prize champion back 4 years ago in Beijing, and he was the first athlete from Kenya to reach an Olympic field event final. can't be accused of not putting his body behind that one. Just goes off to the right-hand segment. That one won't be marked. Well, I'm just looking at his scorecard. That's 3 fouls for Jago. That's him out of the competition. He'll take no further part, unfortunately.
Here's Anderson Peters, meanwhile, in the men's javelin.
Yeah, so far, Peters is still winning, thanks to his first round throw. But I'm just looking at that one. That looks pretty similar. He bangs his chest, doesn't he? He likes that one. Well, this javelin throw competition has just not produced what we were hoping it would so far. A couple of guys, Magnus Kirt and Joas Benter, have thrown over 90 meters so far.
Anderson Peters is a great story as well, isn't he? 21 years of age, based at Mississippi University, studying business administration. He used to throw rocks at trees to retrieve mangoes and apples as a youngster. We suddenly realised he had quite a throw on him, and that's where he got spotted. 86-89, as you say, the distance is maybe a couple of metres short of what we're hoping, but at the moment, he's got a lot of big hitters below him. The man from Grenada. And here's the look on our Hawkeye graphics at the projections of those top 3 throws. The blue line is Anderson Peters. Look at the contrast in height. Heading out towards that 90-metre line, 86-89. Fascinating trajectories there, the one that Anderson Peters.
So we're with the Estonian athlete. This is Kirt. He's one of the favourites for this title. Here he is. He's a left-handed thrower. And what can he produce? Well, it's a foul. He really put his whole body and back, indeed, on that throw. And he's just saying he needs a little bit of attention.
Oof.
He does get injured quite a lot. He throws with his left arm because he has real flexibility in both his shoulders, and he looks like he could be in trouble there, does Kirt.
Yeah, that's a real problem for Magnus Kirt there, who hasn't hardly moved since he landed pretty heavily on that left shoulder. He's called for the medical team here inside the stadium. Currently in second position with that throw of 86 metres and 21. He has thrown the furthest this year. Let's have another look at this. Do we notice anything when he releases? Is there too much of a grimace on his face? Let's see how heavy the landing is. Does he land on his left shoulder? He's already bracing for landing, and it takes a really heavy fall, doesn't he, on that left shoulder?
Yeah, I was watching him in qualification, and he really does, you know, go really high up into the air. He leads with his shoulders. You can see how far his feet are off the floor, but once you obviously got that height, you've got to come down, and he just lands really awkwardly there. This is not what we want to see.
Certainly not for Magnus Kirt of Estonia, as you say, the only left-hander in this competition, through 88.36 in qualifying. As you mentioned, Jenny, he says he throws with his left hand because he has some hypermobility issues in his right arm, which is why he ended up becoming a left-handed thrower. Good bank of Estonian support, photographers around the stadium as well. Now, I think it's obviously certain he's not going to take his 6th and final round, so if there is a silver lining, it is that he's already thrown a distance that at the moment has him in a medal position going into the 6th and final round. Of course, he would love his opportunity to be able to overhaul Anderson Peters, but let's hope first and foremost he's okay, regardless of the competition. Not the sight that Magnus Kirt, the world leader, had in his mind when he set out in the competition today, being taken away by a medical team. Currently in the 2nd position in the javelin, and if he does win the silver and does end up with a medal, somehow he's going to have to find his way up to the podium, which is not that easy to get to, I don't think, particularly on a wheelie stretcher.
But fabulous to see the talismanic Grenadan figure making the 400 final, and somewhere he'll be in the crowd cheering on his compatriot. What a story this would be for the Caribbean island of Grenada.
Well, European success, of course, you can see lots of European flags down there. Of course, African success with Julius Jago back in 2015. Anderson Peters describes Keshawn Walcott as his inspiration. Only beat him for the first time at the Pan Am Games. Peters the leader in round 5.
Well, it's really interesting, isn't it, to see this contrast in a lot of these men's techniques. Great that we've got representation from lots of different nations around the world now. We've got Trinidad and Tobago, we've got Grenada, we've got Kenya and Chinese Taipei, as well as 8 nations from around Europe. Just really showing that this event now is going globally all around the world. And that was 84.59. He's putting a nice series together. But 86.89 remains Peters' best.
So at the moment, Johannes Vetter, the defending champion, with one throw remaining, finds himself lying in the bronze medal position. It will be Amb of Sweden who will throw first. The top 8, remember, only progressing through for their 4th, 5th and 6th round throws. So Amb of Sweden, who works as an accountant in his day job. What do the numbers stack up to here for the Swede? Short of 75 metres, so no improvement. He will stay in 8th position.
Yeah, 8th position it is for Amb. This is actually his best World Championship final. 10th was his best back in 2013 in Moscow. So 8th position. Just taking another look at that. And this event, it's so much about speed, it's so much about power, but it's the accuracy as well, isn't it? And we can just see he's put his foot across the line, doesn't want that one to be measured. 80.42 is his best at this competition.
Next will be Marcin Krukowski, coached by his dad Michael, finished 9th at London 2017. He's guaranteed to improve on that. Currently in 7th position. He's had 3 fouls though leading into this.
Well, he's certainly got lots of weight behind that one, but again, it's just dropping down. Not quite reaching the 80-metre mark. Well, I think he'll be disappointed with that one, the Polish athlete. He has gone out to 85.72 this year, only able to achieve 80.56 on this occasion.
Yeah, 4 fouls out of 6 is not the series that Krukowski was looking for.
A fascinating scenario unfolding here with Magnus Kirt off. Dan O'Brien down there on the infield. What do you make of the drama towards the end of this competition?
Well, guys, a little bit of surprises here in the javelin. Anderson Peters, the youngster, only 21 years old. He's had a couple of big titles this season, NCAA championship, Pan Am championship, but he leads an outstanding field of javelin throwers here. Johannes Vetter, he can't seem to catch him. Magnus Kirt can't catch him either, and they're running out of chances. They're into the 6th round. And it looks like we could get a 21-year-old world champion in the javelin. Anderson Peters, he's just so calm and cool and collected out there. He's thrown 86.69 2 times in a row on the first throw of the competition, and then again on the fourth throw. He keeps just keeping the pressure on these guys. If somebody were to pass him, he might be able to throw a little bit farther, but conditions really just making these guys scratch their heads. Vetter just can't find the line, and Kirt has thrown high, he's thrown low. He's tried to throw a little bit quicker. He just can't find an area that this javelin is flying well indoors. So it's exciting. The Grenadian could be a world champion in just less than 20 minutes.
Great insight there from Dan O'Brien. What a story it would be for a 21-year-old, and we had a 21-year-old winning Dan O'Brien's old event, the decathlon. Nicholas Cowell coming through, showing huge experience and maturity for one so young. And the same qualities could be said about Anderson Peters.
Well, the medal is about to be decided in this men's javelin, because as things stand, Magnus Kirt, of course, has retired from the competition, currently in 2nd position. So the only man that can stop the medalists being Vetter, Kirt and Peters is Latalo of Finland.
Yeah, well, that one comes down just over 75 metres, doesn't it? He qualified for this final in 12th position. I think he would have took 4th position. It's his first World Championship experience. Finished champion. You can just see the launch parameters there. Travelling at 102 kilometres per hour. Really, really fascinating statistics that we're getting at this World Championships.
74.63 for Latalo. So Johannes Vetter has one throw left to try and cling on to his title.
Well, he doesn't like it. He just buries his head, doesn't he? He's been so consistent this year, has Vetter. He went all the way out to 89.35, just 65 centimetres short, that 90-metre mark last night in qualification. And this evening, he just couldn't find it.
And with Magnus Kirt retired, that means, of course, that Anderson Peters of Grenada is the world champion. He has a throw of honour here at 86 metres, 89 already on the board. The Grenadan fans salute their hero. Peters, the 21-year-old, can launch this with everything he's got, knowing he's already won the title.
And it's a decent throw. That's one of the furthest that we've seen this evening. He's gone out to 87.31 this year for a national record. I'm just thinking, if he goes back to, April, May, if someone tells him that he would go and he'd become the world champion, would he believe that? I don't think he would have backed himself. But this evening, he brought his best. He threw further than anybody else, and ultimately, that's what competition's about. Yes, we would have liked to see those 90-metre marks, but he threw the furthest distance that these 12 athletes could throw this evening. Peters is the world champion.
Well, they're dancing in the Khalifa Stadium. They will be dancing on the island of Grenada. That is absolutely for sure. Anderson Peters is the world champion. His winning throw, 86 metres and 89 centimetres. What a performance for the 21-year-old. The silver goes to Magnus Kirt of Estonia, and Johannes Vetter, the defending champion of Germany, can only take the bronze. And if you'd have said that the best medal Germany would get would be a bronze before the start of this, that would have been a real surprise. Two of their big hitters didn't even make the final. Anderson Peters held it all together, produced a cracking series. All but one of his throws were over 80 metres, and he is Grenada's world champion. And great to have some Grenadan support right behind the javelin runway here in the stadium. Johannes Vetter putting probably a brave face, I think, on the bronze medal. He did miss a couple of months, injured, of course, around about June, had to just regather himself in the build-up to this. The benefit, of course, of having a late World Championships is if you do get injured in June, you've still got time to come back. But you'd have to say probably, although he has been pretty consistent this year, maybe in the end, the injury and the length of the season just catching up with him at this final comp.
Well, great scenes there. I was looking at some statistics, the most medals won by countries. Finland on 9, Czech Republic 7, Germany 5, and Grenada 1 now. So
the full lineup of those 10 athletes in this final. Peters the champion, 86.89, from Kirt 86.21, and Vetter the best he could produce, 85.37. A great result too for Ettila Talo of Finland, just missed out in the medals, but a terrific performance, 82.49 for the Finnish athlete.